Hello, hello, and welcome back to the Attitude for Gratitude podcast. My name's Jake, and I am your host tonight. Tim is on vacation. We'll wish him well when he comes back, and we'll ask him all about the fun that he had. I want to welcome everybody that's going to be on. I need some guests to come up here, so anybody that's part of Will Work, come on up. I'm going to get you guys on the show, and we'll get some introductotions going on. Real quick, we'll do some quick shout outs. We got Scars for Tattoos NA meeting that just started up at Iktomi Tattoo. It's 10 a.m. on Saturdays at 1415 West 35th Street in Minneapolis, Minnesota. They're having a pretty strong NA meeting in the mornings. Robbinsdale Alano is going to be having a bingo going on this Saturday at 5:30. That is 4055 Regent Avenue North. Come on down if you like to see old ladies swear. That's a real fun time to have. Will Work for Recovery. They got a meeting down here every day of the week, and at 6:30 a.m. they got structured AA. They've got something going on at 7 o'clock every night here, and I believe they also have a walk and talk on Saturday nights here. So that'll be a lot of fun. April 20th, you got the Great Balls of Fire Dodgeball Tournament hosted by ICYPA. That's the International Conference for Young People's Alcoholics Anonymous. That'll be going on from 6 to 10 o'clock at the Crystal Community Center. So if you're looking for something to do on 420, come on down to that. I'm going to welcome you guys on the show. Who do I got here?
I'm Katara. I'm back again this week.
Whoops. I'm going to have you redo that because I forgot to unmute your mic.
Katara, I'm back here again this week. I'm glad to be back again.
Welcome back, Katara.
I'm Michael.
Michael.
Yeah,
Welcome back.
thank you.
And I guess I still got an open seat. All right, so Katara, Michael, welcome back to the show. You guys were on last week, so some people will probably recognize you. I'm going to do a quick little thing here. Obviously, in the early parts of the show, things kind of spin, and it's a rotating chair. So I'm going to try this new little segment. I'm going to call it Rosebud Thorn. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of it or understood it.
No.
Rosebud, thorn. So rose, something that's going on that's pretty good in your life. A bud, something you're looking forward to, the next thing to bloom. And a thorn, something that you're struggling with. Okay?
Okay.
So, all right, Mike, we'll start with you. Rosebud, thorn, what do you got?
Well, I'm about to be finished with New Way in about 5 weeks.
Right on.
Uh,
So that'd be your bud?
yeah, and then I'm working on housing for me and my girls. And something I got to work on is enjoying the process of everything. So it's like it's a whole new world for me, and I'm still getting kind of used to it. So meeting people is something that I need to get into more.
Cool. So that was part of a lot of bud. What do you got? Walk me through the process here. What's your
So-
rosebud thorn?
So the bloom is being together with my kids in that place. The rose is the process of going through New Way and becoming, I guess, habitable to this new sobriety life. And the thorn is getting the new community around me, being sociable in a sober setting.
Oh, so you're struggling with like just interacting and
Interacting, and I'm used to selling drugs, doing drugs and stuff. So now it's like a whole new setting. So that's kind of being in like a awkward situation for me, but I'm getting used to it.
Yeah, it's got to be quite the change from selling dope to selling hope.
Yeah,
Right on.
trying to get sobriety a gram at a time.
There you go. I've heard that around here before, getting sobriety a gram at a time. I won't even pretend like I fully grasp the understanding of that, but I like it. I do like it. Katara,
Oh,
rosebud thorn.
Rosebud Thorn. Let's see. I'd have to say the Rose is celebrating 9 years of sobriety this Sunday.
Like this recent Sunday?
This recent Sunday, yep. Bud, I would have to say finishing treatment within the next year or so. And then a Thorn, I would say trying to get back into work and stuff and finding a job that works for me. So
Right on. So you're mentioning like finding a job that works for you. That's a lot like because you're trying to keep that in your treatment schedule and so on and so forth. So that's a a little bit of a struggle, but it's a lot easier struggle to handle when you got sobriety going on and so on. Cool. Well, I've already asked you guys some of my favorite questions I like to ask. You guys have been part of those conversations. So I'll just ask you guys right now, what are you doing recently for your sobriety?
Getting in more in tune with my girls, going to more meetings, getting things ready for the next step. I have to.
What does that look like?
Well, I have probation, CPS, New Way, this new housing situation that they got me in with these guys. It's pretty stressful, but it's all right. So I got to go through all of this just so I can get them fully. So that's my process and what I'm doing for recovery, and trying to find a whole higher power I can grasp. Like everybody says, you got to have a higher power. So I'm finding the basis of it, and then I'm going to try to evolve it into something else.
Right on. That's a good way to start.
Yeah.
You're shrinking it down because a lot of times it'll be, people make it like this great giant deal, or that it's this unattainable thing, and try to grasp God, and it's like,
Right.
no, we can have a small concept and
Right.
let it grow from there. So that's really good that you're shrinking down your world a little bit, so that's not overwhelming.
Right.
And I think that's a big aspect that people kind of forget about, right? So, Katara, what are you doing for your recovery lately?
I would say, because we talk about it a lot here at the meeting on Friday nights, is minding the F's. For me, it's more of minding my attitude at treatment and really like working on changing like that maturity level and being more mature and realizing that it's okay to have fun, but realizing that there's a level of maturity that still needs to be met, because if I don't work on that, then why am I in treatment? And like, why am I there to better myself if I'm just going to keep messing around and screwing around like I was when I was a kid, So that's really been my focus right now, is really focusing on my assignments, really hammering down on changing my attitude, and not really changing the lifestyle, but working my attitude changes into my lifestyle, so that I can better myself while helping others better themselves.
Right on. So when working on those types of things, what does that do for your outlook when you're sitting there and you're trying to change your mentality and work on growing and expand your maturity level, as you were talking about? When you're doing those types of things, what does that do for your outlook, and what does that do for those things that can sometimes bring people down, or those back steps?
Yeah, so for me, it really like comes down to like the outward appearance of it, like really showing like, hey, I'm actually trying to change those past behaviors of being that goofball or that class clown type of person, and really like trying to take my treatment serious and like really listen into the conversations and be that like support person for my group members. And it really helps when I have my individual conversations with my therapist, and she's like, you're doing a really good job, just keep focused on those changes that you're making with calling your group members out with different things, and inappropriate topics that shouldn't be said at treatment, and keeping that environment going, because she sees me as a leader, and I see myself as a leader in that situation. Especially, we've got one younger person in my group, and he's 19, and he really needs that extra help sometimes to kind of get back on track. So for me to show that towards him, he'll come back to me at the end of the day and he'll be like, hey Q, thanks for pulling me aside and talking to me, or thanks for showing me like how I can better my attitude and better myself. You know, because that's really what I feel is the biggest part for me is really showing like it's okay to let go, but it's also okay to still have those fun times within reason.
Sure. Yeah, that's one of those things I learned. Maybe a little on the hard side, but that I'm allowed to have fun.
Right.
I'm allowed to have my goofy personality and be the jokester that I am naturally, so long as that I have my affairs in order and I'm thinking of others first, and I'm not doing it in a selfish manner. So.
Right.
That was something that was something that came to me gradually, and it sounds like you're also in that process of experiencing that. Cool. So as the room starts to fill up, the deal. We're going to be rotating out. So before you get off mic, I'm going to need your gratitude.
I'm grateful for my kids and the changes that I have to make in my life so I can be a better person and a better me.
That's awesome, man. I've enjoyed watching you come in the last couple of weeks, and even through your struggles, how you keep trying to push.
Yeah.
It's great to watch, and it's a treat to me, right?
Thank you.
I enjoy watching guys come in and they're ready.
Yeah, I got to be. So
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mike. Find me somebody to get on the show when you get up there.
All right.
Just pick on anybody and be like, you're next. Don't even ask them. Katara, what do you got for your gratitude tonight?
I'm gonna have to say my family here at Will Work, my outside family, everybody that I see is family, keeping me on the right track, right path to be able to celebrate again 9 years sober this year and just keep moving forward. So.
Right on. Well, I appreciate you coming back on the show, and I hope you keep checking in so people can see your growth and walk along your struggles as well.
For sure, thank you.
When you go out there, find me somebody, just pick on them, tap them on the shoulder, say, you're next.
Okay.
All right, thank you. Well, now, I didn't really have a backup plan for anybody coming off the show without having somebody immediately ready to go on the show. But that's the nice thing about this place is you can hear all the chatter in the background. You can hear all these people that are having a good time. That's the fellowship of recovery. And if you're looking for fellowship, it is available all around you. You can go down to Robbinsdale, Allano, Twin Lake, Allano, New Hope, Allano, Blaine, Fridley. There's Will Work for Recovery down here at 2520 North 2nd Street in Minneapolis. There's a lot of places to get around. And now I got a guest.
Man, you knew I was going to step up.
All right, so who do I got on the show?
Daryl,
Daryl, welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm doing good, doing real good.
That's awesome, man. Glad to have you on here. So a little thing that I'm starting off with here is I'm doing what I call Rosebud Thorn.
Which is?
So give me three things. One, a rose, what's going on in your life that you're enjoying. That's a big aspect, something positive.
Okay.
A bud, something about to bloom, something you're looking forward to.
Okay.
And then a thorn, what's the pain in the ass?
Okay. For what you said, the rose?
Yeah.
The rose is working for the clinic that I went through recovery for. I'm a house manager right now. I've got 5 guys in my house. I wish I had more responsibilities, but that's coming later. That's going to be the bud, because I took the classes to be a certified peer recovery specialist.
Right on.
And I'm just waiting for my background check to clear. Yeah, and if it doesn't clear, then I can get a set aside. But this is all things that are taking time, and most of us don't have patience. I don't care if you're sober, using whatever. Nobody has patience. It's
Right.
hard to have patience. And the thorn, I would probably say, is I just quit my second job, my little part-time gig as a security guard at some of the nightclubs downtown at Vanquish and uptown at Rain and stuff. And I liked the job. I liked what I was doing. I don't partake in any alcoholic beverages, but I like to watch other people have a good time.
Sure.
And I like to be the guy that makes sure that everybody has a good time. more or less, just things are going good for me. You know, I can't complain. Go ahead. Come on, Paul, get on over here, man.
I got these guys coming on for long term. Hop on, Paul.
Oh.
Yeah, these are my guests tonight. Oh, they come on for 2 minutes.
Oh, I forgot. My other thorn would be the fact that Aaron Jones went to the Vikings.
Are you a big Packer fan?
Yeah, I'm a cheesehead. I'm a diehard.
I mean, I see you got the hat that
yes.
says City of New York. You know,
Well,
I
that's
thought-
because I went to New York and stayed up there and stuff. I love New York City. Don't get me wrong and stuff.
I'm
You
from
know.
New York. I can't stand it.
Oh man, I loved it and stuff. Lower Manhattan is Times Square. Oh, nothing like it and stuff. We stayed at a B&B, Airbnb in Queens, and I was doing some carnival work. Carney, I'm a truck driver, but I did carny work also and stuff when I get burnt out. And I love, once again, I'm facilitating people having a good time. I'm helping people to have a good time. You go to a county fair or whatever. I'm the guy that gets you and your girlfriend or your kids and stuff, suckers them in to get to play the game and stuff. And I like doing games where people have a higher percentage of winning.
Sure.
For the ones that don't win, the kids that have a good attitude about it, I used to give them off little prizes anyway, stuff that my boss wasn't really caring about or going to throw away or whatever.
Right.
But to the kid, it makes a world of difference and stuff. So, more or less, I come here, on Fridays. This is my Friday night party situation. If I was working, I'd be getting home, getting ready for work. But this is just another job that I love to do. The pay is staying sober and clean.
Right on. So you got, I guess I'll follow up the other questions. What are you doing recently for your recovery?
Recently, every day is a reminder. Just with the clinic that I work for, PCC, shout out to PCC. Just being there for the guys, you know what I'm saying? Being that leader. I know I'm not their favorite person. And if you think about it, at one time or another, your parents weren't your favorite persons, but they had your best intentions at heart.
Right.
And that's the same with me right now. I mean, hopefully down the line for even the guys who don't like me and stuff can be like later on and say, hey, everything he did and stuff, because it was for my better. It wasn't, vindictive or anything like that. My man, Josh, you can definitely get on the microphone, bro. You better put some baritone in that voice and stuff. Put some bass in it.
You weren't, a couple of weeks ago during the Friday night meeting, somebody cracked the joke because whoever's calling out the numbers, they said, who got the Arby's guy?
Yeah, we have the meat.
Was that you?
Yes, that was me they were talking about, yes. I was going to make that my catchphrase. We have the recovery.
We have the recovery. Yeah, I can't even pretend to do that. So, all right, so who do I got over here?
Josh, I'm an addict.
Hey, Josh, welcome to the show.
What's going on, y'all?
Who do we got here?
Paul,
Paul, welcome to the show.
thank you.
How are you?
I'm doing real well, thank you.
This is the first time I've ever been able to get you on.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad to be here, man.
Cool.
You're
So-
doing a great job, Jake. Thank you.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
So I'm doing a quick little segment. I know you're a busy guy, and I'll let you quick run this down. It's called Rosebud Thorn. So rose, something that's going on pretty good in your life. A bud, something you're looking forward to. And the thorn, what's the thorn in your ass?
Rosebud third. Okay, do I start with Rose?
Just start with whatever one you want.
What's Rose, man? My girl is, Carolyn is just so awesome. I just love her to death. If it wasn't for her, man, I wouldn't be here today.
Right on.
She's the rose of my life. I call her gunpowder because she's smoking hot, too.
That's awesome. How long have you guys been together?
It's got to be 8 years, 9 years maybe.
Wow.
Put that man
Yeah.
on the spot like that.
Yeah, she's just so awesome, man. Every day she's just amazes me, man.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
After 8 years, still got all this spark and excitement. That's awesome.
Yeah, and I give her all the credit, man. This wouldn't be if it wasn't for her, I always say the only thing I run around here is my mouth.
I'd say, same about me.
Yeah, okay, great.
What's your bud?
My bud, what was that one?
Something you're looking forward to.
Something I'm looking forward to, man. Well, I don't want to open up a can of worms, but I'm looking forward to the next phase of development of Will Work for Recovery that should be coming very soon.
Right on.
and like I say, don't want to open up a can of worms, but we're running out of space, stuff like that. So we're going to be moving forward and doing some bigger things.
So you don't want to open up a can of worms, but you're ready to go fishing?
Pardon?
You don't want to open up a can of worms, but you're ready to go fishing?
Yeah. Yep. I know what I'm missing. These, right?
Yeah. Perfect. So that was. I appreciate,
there we go.
That's a nice little sneak hint. Little sneak hint at you don't want to open up worms and you're not letting out any information, but it's giving Willwork as a whole their own little bud, right?
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Yep. No, it's yeah.
And how about your thorn?
My thorn. Let's see, man. This is a good question. My thorn. Probably my ego, pride, self-centeredness, selfishness, all that other stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Defects, yeah.
Yeah, my character defects. I always post a list of assets and defects, and each day I pick out one that I'm going to work on because, like I said, I'm only human, man. I don't do this perfectly. I do this to the best of my ability. And like I said, things either remain the same or they get better, but they don't get worse if I apply myself to this program. So I do every morning, sometimes down on my knees, sometimes not. And just pick out one of them things to work on, man, because I'm still a mess, man. I'm only human, but I'm getting better and better every day.
That's awesome, man. I really love that, Paul. That was great. I don't do this perfectly, but I keep trying to do better.
Absolutely, man. I stay willing. It's not a part-time job.
I actually ended up having almost a temper tantrum, but not quite a temper tantrum.
Sure.
Towards my sponsor. I'm talking to him this week, and one of the things, he eventually came back at me, and his solution was that I now am it's something I'm supposed to do every night, my nightly inventory, my review.
Sure, yep.
But now he said, now you have to text it to me.
Good one, yeah.
So, yeah, that improvement, improvement. So that's helped out.
I'd like to give you another example of what I was explaining too, and I've shared this often, is that I can get down on my knees in the morning and pray and do all my little stuff, and by the time I get to 494 and get on the freeway, I'm flipping somebody off. You idiot, and that's kind of the thorn in my side. I have to really check myself and go, hey, man,
Oh yeah,
So, like I said, I don't do it perfectly, but
I got a sponsor in here that I give him rides to places. I brought him down here, and he'll tell you that my sponsor is not very spiritual in traffic.
Yeah. It's just it's just one of those things, man. But like I say, I just stay willing to work this stuff, man. Willing to get better, and because I didn't come into this stuff to just remain the same.
Right.
It's not just about getting sober, man. It's a total change of lifestyle.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Say that one more time, because that's it's worth repeating.
I didn't just do this to get sober. It's a total change of lifestyle. The answer to life is learning to live, man, and that's what I'm trying to do.
That's exactly it.
Yep.
I found out in this last, when I celebrated my last milestone, I said that I had recently discovered that it's not about staying sober. It's about learning to live a life that I'm happy, joyous, and free, and I don't need to get high or drunk from.
Right. My favorite is the acceptance prayer on 417. It saves my life on an hourly basis.
Yeah.
When something's unacceptable to me, I can find no peace, no serenity till I accept that person, place, thing, or situation for exactly the way it's supposed to be.
Exactly.
So. I appreciate the couple minutes.
I appreciate you coming on for a couple minutes, but before you run off, I need your gratitude.
My gratitude is, again, Carolyn, man. She holds me together. She holds me accountable. She, I always say, man, we don't see ourselves, and she sees me, and she's always holding me in check and telling me what this, that, and the other thing. And I just love her for that, because I don't see myself. I think, it's just like sitting here. Anything that comes out my mouth, I believe it's right, unless somebody tells me, hey, did you just hear what you said? You know what I'm saying? So it's, it's interesting, man. I love this program and what it stands for. And I'm just grateful for it, and the people that came before me, man, that it didn't go away.
Exactly. Yeah, that's.
Yeah.
I couldn't say it any better. I kind of resemble the same thing. I'm grateful for those who came before me.
Yeah. Yep.
Before you, I appreciate your gratitude. And I just want to let you know, I don't think PD knows that he's a dog.
Yeah, Petey's, yeah.
Me and Rick over here were sitting on the couch. And
Yeah.
we're like, Petey, come on up. And the dog just looked at us. And he's like, eh.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know if he knows he's a dog. Like, what dog have you ever had to try to convince to get on the furniture?
Yeah, he's gotten a little older. He used to be able to jump right up there, and he had a little accident chasing a squirrel and did something to his hips, and yeah, he hasn't been the same since. But
Hey, he'll come by and he'll take a scratch anytime. But
oh yeah. Listen, I do appreciate you guys, man. Happy trails, that's my favorite. Happy trails, man.
happy trails.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Jake.
SOUL.
Much love, bud.
All right. And your name again was what, Josh?
Josh.
Josh, welcome to the show. And
Rick.
welcome back to the show. I've had you on plenty of times. That was the first time I ever got Paul on the show. I have tried every time, like, Paul, sit down. He's like, nah, I got to do the thing. And he's gone just as fast as I say, like, Paul, get on the show.
Yeah, I've only seen him on there twice.
So that was fun. That was real fun. So, Josh, you kind of got a little bit of a gist of it, how we're doing Rosebud Thorn.
Yep.
So that's exactly what I had Paul do, Rosebud Thorn. So give me your rose, your bud, and your thorn, and something that's going well, something you're looking forward to, and something that's a thorn in your ass.
Well, my rosebud would have to be just the future, man. It's different this time for me. I just signed up. I'm doing Twin Cities Rise. I got a lot of support right behind me. You know what I'm saying? I'm working my steps. I just finished step 1, waiting for my sponsor to go through.
So you got a sponsor.
Yeah,
Hey,
absolutely,
hey.
absolutely. Sam Brenning, shout out.
Right on.
Blaze Sam on Facebook if y'all don't know who Sam Brenning is. And I just applied for school and some grants to do this 2-year course for it's like an LADC course, and it's exciting. It's exciting and fun at the same time to help brothers in a different way. You know what I'm saying? I used to help them.
I just want to say, Josh, like I've known you now for almost 5 years.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, man, from the first time seeing you until now, bro, great transformation.
Thank you.
Like compared to where you were and where you are now, I see a total different Josh.
Yeah. Thank you.
So congratulations on that, bro.
Yes, thank you.
That's awesome.
Because I don't think we get enough acknowledgement on how we do in the program.
Sometimes we don't, because if I recognize a guy, like I will sometimes have trouble, because it's like, all right, am I about to blow up his head? Like, am I gonna get his ego and pride just gleaming? Like, because I have to stop and ask, like, am I about to like just kill this man's opportunity for the day?
Right. Yeah.
And that's my rosebud. That's my thorn right there. I've had, you know what I'm saying? When you hear it from somebody that's known you, you know what I'm saying, for 5 years, it hits different, right? So when I got my counselors, just meeting me, you know what I'm saying? You're doing great, you know what I'm saying? Knowing I have a lot to work on still, yet, you know what I'm saying? And me not taking that ego boost and blowing up my head, because I used to, oh yeah, I got this, you know what I'm saying? That was me. Like, I'm not worried about it.
That shit'll get to you eventually.
Yeah, and I've had to humble myself, man. I've had to truly humble myself and be ready to take and be like, hey, look, I am doing good. I'm doing great things, right? But I'm also have a lot to work on, and I gotta put my ego in check each and every day, and it's something that I have to. My girl tells me all the time, or I'll be playing too much. You know what I'm saying? When I play too much, I step back and be like, all right, so because I know when I play, there's something else going on. You know what I'm saying? It's my coping skill.
Yep.
So I have to take a step back and be like, all right, what's going on through my head right now that I'm dealing with? My anxiety, my depression. You know what I'm
Being
saying?
able to like have that moment to pause and recognize those type of things, that's you might be stopping to try to find the defect that's going on or whatever else that's bothering you inside, but that's a huge character asset. And that's something that we learn, obviously, because like we wouldn't have come in here with that type of asset. We wouldn't be in here if we had that asset at the very beginning. But it's something that grows, and we learn to use it over time. So that's huge. What you're talking about, because I don't think it is often recognized or applauded enough. Like Rick was talking about, the ability to stop and self-assess.
Absolutely. And it's something that we all can work on. You know what I'm saying? I'm not perfect at it. I can promise you that. Nobody's perfect in this world, and I just
And
do
we
it.
ain't supposed to be neither.
Absolutely not. But through God's grace, we make it each and every day closer to where we want to be. You know what I'm saying? And being grateful and having that attitude of gratitude, exactly what it is super important. I just shared with the whole meeting, but I'll share it again on here. I did a character awareness survey this weekend through Twin Cities Rise, and my biggest strength was my gratitude, and it was something that very surprised me very much, because I never looked at it as a strength, right? But as we become grateful for things, that's when we can take that next step and feel good about ourselves because we were grateful for that. You know what I'm saying? Then we can be grateful for a little more. And that's just how God does it. You know what I'm saying? He gives us a little at a time and chips away at that ice cold heart you used to have when you were using. For me anyway.
Right. Well, Josh, I appreciate your. I really appreciated that. That was really good because you touched on some things that are, perfect aspects of our life. So before I kick you off, I need your gratitude.
I'm grateful for today, being sober today. I'm super grateful for that. And self-awareness, man. That's all I got.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you coming on the show. I hope to see you again next time.
Alrighty.
And next, so at your seat, I'm going to fill that with. Where'd Andrew go?
I think he went to the bat.
Good God. All right. So, Rick.
Yes, sir.
Well, you got the gist of this now, Rosebud Thorn.
Rosebud Thorn.
Yep, before I do that, I'm going to get this guy introduced. So, who do I got?
Brian Wendinger.
Brian, welcome to the show. You've been on before?
Nope.
Well, welcome. First time.
Welcome.
Yep.
So, I'm going to run through, little stuff here, talk with Rick, and then you'll get the same questions.
Okay.
All right. Rick, Rosebud, and Thorn.
Okay, so what was the...
Rose is something that's going on that's good in your life. The bud is something that you're looking forward to. And the thorn is the thorn.
Well, I tell you what, the first two, I tell you automatically what it is. So a little backstory about me. So back in 1994, my dad had met this lady, and they ended up having a kid together, my half-sister. And mother moved her around. We lost contact with her. She kept my dad's daughter from him, and we lost touch. So I've been, since I got out of prison, I don't know, in 2002 or something, I've been searching for her. And I've been praying to find her, and, it's like no matter how far I dug into social media, I couldn't find her. And just, kept praying. And I was the type of person that ever really prayed. And if people know any of my history, like, I resented God for a long time because I thought he took my mom. She was killed, so I blamed him. So anyway, learning about the program, people telling me, I needed a higher power, and I found one. And it took me a long time to grasp that idea. Well, anyway, I reached out to a couple people. It's been like 30 years since I've seen my sister, and I found her.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
So what's the follow-up of that?
I'm waiting. That's the thing. So
you just found
the rose and thorn thing.
Yeah.
I found my sister, and now I'm waiting for the outcome.
Gotcha.
And so a lot of people are like, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? It's like, well, for one, I'm not going to get my hopes up.
That's good. That's a really good start.
Because she probably knows nothing about this side of of her family, and I'm okay with that. I just want her to know, and there's a whole lot of backstory behind it all, but unfortunately, my dad, I feel, he hasn't tried hard enough, and I told him, I'm like, look, before I die, I'm gonna find her, and yeah, man. So she's living in Ohio right now. I have a picture of what she looks like, her place of residence. So I messaged her out on Facebook. And hey, you know,
Hey, I'm your brother.
be like, hey, but no. So for me, being in recovery has paid off in a lot of ways. Because if I was out ripping and running, getting drunk and high and all that shit, I probably wouldn't have worried. I probably wouldn't be digging as hard as I am and as deep as I am to try to find her.
That's a good outlook. That's a good way to put that as, if I wasn't doing this, I wouldn't care.
You know, and I mean, man, like I've had so many blessings in the program. Yeah, you know, I've slipped, but I've came back. But man, like I feel like that slip helped me out in a lot of ways because I see things a lot different and I value things more. Whereas before, like I didn't know the value of anything. I didn't even know the value of $1. You know. And so the rose and thorn, that's my rose and thorn. And what was the other one?
Bud,
The bud.
something you're looking forward to.
See where this program takes me in the future.
That's a pretty decent bud. Not bad.
You know, I mean, there's tons of things that I can look forward to, but
Like
to
I
be
kind of
honest
want to
with
give you like that's a fucking you want to cop out, I'm looking forward to it, but I also know you decent enough towards. I'm like, yeah, there's actually something that you are looking at. So,
and I don't know what the future's gonna hold,
but you're okay with it.
and I'm okay with that.
That's a very important aspect.
For sure.
So, all right, then what are you doing recently for your recovery?
What I recently do for my recovery, I chair a meeting down here. Tuesday nights, 7 o'clock. I work with a sponsor. I'm working my steps. I do have sponsees. I just try to be available. And I never knew what that was about. But the best feeling for me is knowing that I was able to chair a meeting for people who may not have been able to get to one, like they have a hard time getting there. So I guess it kind of goes back to where we were talking about earlier. So I think I just inserted my own foot in my mouth.
Well, I mean, it gives you something to pray on.
Exactly. So now I really do have a lot to think about.
Yeah.
So the gratitude of all that, the gratitude is the program, man. I wouldn't be where I'm at today
Right.
unless it was for the program.
So is that
And the
is that
people
leading
that
you to
have in my
gratitude?
life, yes, that's. And my wonderful daughter is here, by the way. Turns 14 tomorrow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Can't believe she's.
Shit.
You're getting old.
Shut up. I already know that. Damn it.
So, what is your gratitude? I mean, you kind of
Life.
started touching on it. But yeah.
Gratitude is life for me.
And what makes that so? What's inspiring again?
Man, I can go to work and give it the honest day's work, make an honest day's pay, and I can go home, go to bed, and wake up and remember what I did the next day. What I did the day before. I don't have to worry about, damn, did I hit something or making an asshole of myself to people.
Right.
I mean, I can do that straight. I don't need to do it when I'm drunk. But no, there's a lot of things I'm grateful for, man. I'm grateful to be on here. I'm grateful to meet new people in my life every single day. I'm constantly meeting new people. And, man, I'm grateful for you.
I'm grateful for you.
No matter, probably don't tell you, but you helped me in a lot of ways, and I appreciate that.
You helped me in a lot of ways, so the feeling is mutual. I appreciate you and everything that we talk about, and we're able to bounce things off each other. So it is a mutually beneficial.
That's right. So I love you guys, and I always say, if you need help, reach out. Don't be scared.
Perfectly
It's
said.
hard, but you pick up that phone. That's all it takes.
Well said.
So
Well,
peace out.
thanks, Rick. Emily, take that spot.
I have a traumatic brain.
Yep. All right. So your name is Brian.
Yes.
All right, Brian. Welcome to the show. Like you said, it's your first time. So for just this little tidbit, we're gonna do the segment's called Rosebud Thorn.
Okay.
And the rose is something that's going well in your life. The bud is what you're looking forward to, and the thorn is, what the thorn is in your life. So we'll lead into each one. So what is your rose currently?
Being alive and working and not working too much, for one, and having spare time. Because I come from rural America. On a dairy farm I was raised, and I worked on a pig farm at night. So I literally I went through school sleeping.
Right on. All right. What's your bud? What is something that you're looking forward to?
Life. I've been dead 3 times.
Right on. So you're just looking forward to life and what it has to offer you?
Yes.
Perfect. So what is your thorn currently?
I'm still addicted.
Still addicted? You're still fighting?
Yep.
Well, you're in the right place. You're in a safe place tonight. And, as long as that you still have this determination to beat it, that you got a shot, right? Like, you get to keep coming back.
Yep.
So then we'll just lead into, usually the next question here is, what are you doing for your recovery? And it sounds like you are reaching out. You're trying to step in and be a part of.
Yep.
What led you to that?
Well, I was treated hyperactive in my 20s, and I'm 45, and using the whole time, and it was a mess. And I figured there's got to be better out there. After my last accident, they gave me a caseworker and said, this is how it's going to work from now on.
How is it, and is that helping?
Oh, yes.
Right on.
Having some direction definitely helps.
Cool. All right, and then the final question is, what are you grateful for tonight?
I'm grateful for life, precisely life, and friends for the first time in my life, and being up here where you don't have to travel a half hour just to get to a grocery store.
That's right. Well, Brian, I appreciate you coming on the show, and appreciate you sharing a little bit of your life with us. It was enjoyable. I got to see a little bit of what's going on, and I hope you'll come back to the show. I hope to see you again.
Yes, me too.
Cool. Thanks, Brian.
Yep. Bye-bye.
Liam, take that seat. All right, so now we're going to go into our deep dive segment of the show. I have these 3 guests that are going to be on the show. They're going to be on for the rest of the night until we close down. So let's invite people. If you've got a ride, I don't care.
I'm gonna flip the table.
So we're gonna introduce these people. Down here, I've got a gentleman. Who are you?
Well, Jacob, my name is Andrew Joyle, and I'm an alcoholic.
Well, hi, Andy. I appreciate you coming on. And who do we have here?
I am Emily, and I'm an alcoholic
Hi,
and an
Emily.
addict.
And an addict.
Hello.
Wow.
The
Check
whole
you out.
shebang.
Double
The whole
whammy.
shebang.
Yeah.
And who's this leprechaun down here?
I'm Liam. I am also an alcoholic.
Liam, welcome to the show. So this is all of your guys' first time down here at Will Work. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Couple of meetings.
You've been down here before?
Yeah.
Okay, then I will. I'll ask you first.
Okay.
What was your first impression walking in here?
I enjoy it. There are certain aspects of it that I really like. In my experience, it's been very not AA or NA, but very just recovery oriented, which I always find fascinating. And it's cool to see all these people come from different backgrounds and associate in a healthy way to try and move their lives forward. It's fun to me.
Fun. So your first was fun. All right.
Yeah,
Cool.
it's fun.
I mean, yeah, I wouldn't disagree. I was just like, fun.
I mean, it looks like Axeman here, and it's awesome. And you have weird stuff hanging from the ceiling.
Is
but it's
Axeman
awesome.
still around?
Oh yeah.
Okay. I know they closed the one that was in Crystal, and I
Well,
had to
think
resentment ever since.
I think the one in Minnetonka is still open, or they moved it. I have a
Okay.
gift certificate to it
We
that
should
I've
find
had
it.
for like 10 years.
We should make it a point to find it.
We should.
All right, Emily, what was your first impression walking into Will Work for Recovery?
I had no idea what to expect. I thought it was just like this podcast room. Honestly, I didn't know there was like meetings here or anything. So it was really cool. I love how many people there are. I've never been to a meeting. Well, we kind of listened into the meeting for a little bit before this, but I've never been to a meeting with that many people. It just seems like super free spirited and like super accepting of everybody. Diverse too.
Yeah, who do you remind me of right now? What's that show with Wayne's World or whatever it was?
Wayne's World.
Wayne's World.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wayne's World.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is she not kind of?
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
You.
Wayne?
Yeah, you got the hat, you got the
Oh, yeah.
glasses.
Yeah.
You're both brunette. Wayne.
Yeah.
Wasn't he?
I totally resemble him.
Right now in the moment. at
Thank you.
least, you know.
More youthful.
Thank you.
Awesome. So I it was free spirit. Your impressions were free spirited, welcoming,
Yeah.
warm,
Fun.
fun.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. It seems like a lot of fellowship goes on here, like a lot of different rooms, and so it's super fun.
Cool. Yeah, I don't think Andy got to see the big room and the big meeting that was going on.
I had an opportunity to come here a while back. I think I might have come a couple times. I enjoyed it. It's a good feeling. There's a lot of sort of shit all over the place.
There is.
Bunch of shit.
I actually,
Everywhere.
if memory serves me right, I got to take some of that shit home with me. They gave me a little army man that I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure is on
Yeah.
a bookshelf at my house.
Yeah, they give everybody an army man the first time
Yeah.
here. So
And a marble, right? Or
I've seen other
I've
meetings do
seen-
the marble, but I
yeah.
don't. Not on Friday nights anymore. They just do the like, here's your army guy.
okay, yeah.
And they're
I
like,
never
this
got a
won't,
marble.
this won't keep you sober.
Yeah.
I wasn't cool enough for
But
the marble.
just a daily reminder that you're fighting for your life, you're fighting for your recovery.
Yep.
That's what
Fight
they
the good
said.
fight.
Yeah.
So that's their whole army man spiel. I wish Paul would just pop back in here so he could just run it because like he
He does a great job explaining it.
right. Cool. Well, I appreciate your guys on that, and thanks for coming on the show. We'll wrap that up, and we'll see everybody. No, I'm kidding.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
kidding.
So
Sweet.
You're a natural host.
You're
You're
doing
made
great.
for this.
I like to believe so, but then my head gets kind of big.
Yeah, I don't want to like inflate your ego too much,
Yeah.
but
Hey,
it kind of suits you.
These earphones are like they only fit a certain size. We don't want.
That's true.
You're right.
Right. Like I don't want to have to get me custom headsets. So
You would totally.
You kind of
do
wear
that.
it well. I mean, you very much look the part. You sound well. You look good.
well, I mean, I think the next
Just
step
saying.
would be it would be like Howard Stern, right?
Yeah, probably get super. Yeah.
Maybe you want to. What do they always say about our expectations? Maybe you want to.
and try to host that show every time.
Maybe you want to.
First he's got the Seagal look, and
Shoot
now
a
he's
little
got
lower.
the Stern
Just
voice.
saying.
Yeah, I
Just
mean,
so you don't hurt your own feelings.
if Steven Seagal met Howard Stern and they ate each other, like that's me.
Oh, God.
I think that's the quote for the night, right? So
That's
far.
a good one.
Yeah,
I
see,
like
like
that.
I like doing these deep dives because we get to have a little bit of comedy and stuff like that too. And when the room clears out, it's like, oh, we can be funny and fun. Like not that we aren't in the beginning, but it's everlasting throughout the show for the next hour and
I
so
like
odd
to
minutes.
think we kind of always are.
Yeah, what's
In all
that
of our-
saying? What's it
wherever
say?
we do.
We are not a glum lot.
I've heard
We are
that.
not.
I've heard that.
Lots of swearing that goes on here.
That's the thing you want to highlight.
Wow.
Party on, Dirk.
Right on.
I can swear, right?
You can swear.
Oh,
You can
fuck yeah.
absolutely.
Emily's just gonna let it fucking rip now. Every other word.
So now we got through the introductions part of this segment. We'll move into actual recovery talk. If you guys are cool with that.
That's not really what I'm here for.
Oh, what are you here for?
I was here for the pizza that
Yeah.
I couldn't have.
That you got to smell it.
I did. It smelled good. Was it good?
It was pretty good.
Okay.
Where's it
But I am
That
here
is from
for
American Pie
recovery talk.
Pizza. They are located on 6529 Nicollet Avenue, and they are one of the sponsors of this podcast. So
Oh, right
shout
on.
out to American Pie Pizza.
Shout out. They're really good. Really good.
We should see if they have gluten-free pizza next time.
Look at the menu.
Menu's right there on the wall.
Yeah, it's so far away right now.
All right, well, let's lead into this. Which one do you guys want to go first? All right. So Liam, looks like you are the winner.
Cool.
Winner.
Cool. So
Story of his life.
I have not.
If I was a
prepped-
winner, I would not have been here.
Hey, no, we are the ultimate winners.
Yeah, you got out alive, right?
Yes. Okay, so yes. But if we're talking historically, I didn't come into this program on a winning streak.
Right. Right. I have not met a single person yet that's come into AANA or any type of recovery center and said, you know, life's been so freaking great lately. I think I was going to try doing this sober thing just to see if it, you know, what else I could, you know, enlarge on. No, everybody comes in and they're beaten down and they're like, I'm lost, I'm broken, I don't know what's going on, and I need help. That's how I've met everybody that's come in here so far. I'm not saying that has never happened. I haven't seen it yet.
No, that wasn't my experience at all. No, I came in very broken. And that was easily the best position for me to be in.
Absolutely, right? Like if I come in and everything's great, like what are you going to teach me? I already know it all. Like life's going well.
Yeah.
At least like for me, that's how it would have gone. So, you know, in recovery, I haven't prepped you on any of the questions that are upcoming, correct?
No, not at all.
Perfect. So, Liam, what is something that you had to learn the hard way in recovery?
Ooh, that's a good one. There's actually quite a bit of them, right? The thing that probably one of the biggest things that I had to learn the hard way was, first, I had this delusion, right, that the second that I would be sober, life would be amazing, right? Like everything would be easy. Because I thought my drinking was the issue. That was the thing that was causing all this pain and all these problems, right? After learning more about that and being sober for a little bit, life didn't get easier right away. I started learning and developing tools to appropriately accept life and learn how to live with it and enjoy it. But life beat me down almost instantly. I mean,
like how can you explain what happened, or what would that like maybe like how it felt, and
yeah,
like a rude awakening?
Absolutely. Well, there were a couple of them. The biggest one was probably I was in my first sober house, and this was a co-ed house, which was yeah. You can guess where that. Sound effects. That's appropriate.
What else you want?
God, don't let him.
So a toilet flush?
Oh, wrong one.
I think you should get your toilet checked out if it's making that sound.
Zinger.
So yeah, as you're mentioning that you had the rude awakening getting sober, that it was like, oh, I'm not gonna have this easy lifestyle, and drinking wasn't the problem.
No. In my experience, and I'm sure with some other people who have told me, it was the solution and it was a symptom, and it was fine until it wasn't, and then it got bad. But and I believed that was the issue, right? I mean, I'm an alcoholic. It's in the title of it, right? My issue is alcohol. That wasn't true.
Turned out to be ick.
Yeah. The ick is the thing that really impacts my daily life all the time, even now.
Okay, so enlarge on that then.
So, well, first of all, I am in a traditional based setting. I'm very lazy, sloth. I don't want to do anything ever, and incredibly selfish.
Is this Liam talking or me?
Both of you.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
You're an alcoholic too,
I mean,
right?
You're like, it sounds like you're talking about Jake, but
yeah, I think we have a little bit more in common than we might first see.
Oh yeah.
But yeah. So I will do anything within my power to do nothing. Right?
I'll do anything to do nothing.
Yeah, right? Excuses, do whatever I want so that I can be left alone. I can manipulate and get exactly what I want out of people and situations, and just basically leech.
Leech?
Mm-hmm.
So what do you mean by it? What does that look like?
It looked like, borrowing money from people. I actually stole money from people, that kind of stuff. But even just, like, associate people who had what I believe to be a better life or a happier life and attach onto them and sort of meld emotions with them. Like your energy, if you were chill and you were doing good and everything, me who wasn't ever doing good, I'd connect with you and we'd become friends and stuff like that, and it would, like your happiness would transitively become mine. Does that make sense? Okay. And all the while still trying to take more and more from everybody else and everything that I could get. And that's a huge character defect of mine. And that wasn't something that I was doing when I was drinking. Right? At the bar, I wouldn't do any of that. I was the happy drunk. Like, everyone's having a great time. I did that stuff when I was sober, when I wasn't using. I did that well before I ever picked up a drink.
Yeah, absolutely. So
the delusion that, you know, that everything would get better after.
I'm really glad I didn't have to lead you into that part. Like you just picked it up and.
Oh yeah, no, like silver platter, let's go, right? But yeah, so the delusion and the realization that the thing that makes me an alcoholic isn't necessarily the aspect that I drink. It's everything else that I do, especially when I'm sober. To escape how I want to feel, to escape my mindset, to escape anything.
And you can use anything to try to do that. It's not always just alcohol.
No, I do anything. Shit, adrenaline junkie, like anything to escape just feeling like shit or feeling like me. You know, it's that aspect where I just did not like who I was in any way, shape, or form. But you'd see an image of me that I'd project and believe that I was confident and happy
absolutely.
and all that kind of stuff.
I used to tell people, like, hey, you know, like we got Liam, Emily, and Andy, and you guys might all tell somebody, like, this is how I know Jake, and it'll be 3 different stories. And I will say, believe them all, because I have protruded a certain image or personality towards each one of you that I want you to, I want to come off towards you in that moment.
Yeah,
so
completely.
Yeah, it's trying to be a chameleon, right?
Exactly. You know, and I did that through school. I did that through jobs. Any way, anywhere that I could, that's what I was doing. To make sure that I fit in with this select group of people or that select group of people and never being my genuine self. Because I didn't like that, so why the hell would anybody else?
And having that leprechaun powers makes it easier.
Yes, it does. but you asked me when the revelation where life wasn't going to get easier happened, right? Like I said, I was at a sober house. It was a co-ed sober house. Probably wasn't the best idea, right?
Sounds like a great idea, but
well, hold on, right?
Holding on.
Yeah. So I inevitably got into a relationship with an individual, and we had a miscarriage.
Gasp.
Right.
I mean, like the relationship part, not like the miscarriage.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's the relationship part. I'm like, oh, gasp. Like, who could have saw that?
Who could have expected that? I don't know. Cram 25 alcoholics into a small place and
not
see
to
what
give
happens.
away anything. And, you know, like as a running joke, you know, Emily and I, we have 2 separate sponsors who are married that met in a sober house.
Yeah, they met at the same sober house I went to.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I bet you two didn't know that.
No, this is news to me.
Yeah.
He's just sitting there smiling, shaking on his coffee.
Andy's just like, can we have more tea? Let's see what's going on.
Tea.
But yeah, so and up until that point, there had been certain aspects of my life that I didn't enjoy and that I'd gotten through some rough times and everything. But I'll tell you what, being sober, going through a miscarriage, having to try and support an individual who was also newly in recovery, trying to go through all of that was absolute hell.
Sorry, there was Sour Patch Kids stash back there at one point.
There were? Are there any more?
No, I just looked.
Damn it.
But it was absolute hell. I was listening to the whole thing. Like, trying to go through that was absolute hell, and it sounds like it just made your situation worse.
Absolutely. It
But
absolutely
you stayed
made
sober
that
through
worse.
that.
Yes, I did.
Phenomenal.
Well, it's...
By the grace of God, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's that and being able to reach out and connect with individuals and associate myself with people that have an understanding of me better than anyone that I've ever come across before, even more so than my genetic family.
Right on. Well, I appreciate that, and obviously there's gonna be more questions coming up. And before I lead into the next person, I just want to remind you guys that you're part of the show. If there's stuff you want to ask, follow up, or talk to the other person, like jump on the mic and say something here. But
I was engaged in the story.
Good to know.
Yeah.
It was interesting.
It's a good story, isn't it?
It was really good.
Enjoyed it.
I can tell you more about it later if you want.
See where it goes.
But
You really don't want to know more.
Maybe not tonight.
I just made if you guys want or able to follow Will or pull up the Will Work for Recovery Facebook page, and you can share the stream to your page so all of your friends can see.
Oh.
She's like
Yeah.
What?
What was that?
I don't think my family wants to see me on here.
Why wouldn't your family want to see you on the show?
Oh, juicy.
We're back to Howard Stern.
Baba Booey.
I'm not. Well, just
I would love if your mom tuned in.
I know you would.
Because like I don't know if you guys can see this, but like the audience can't obviously. But we have the live comments going on, and no matter what, if somebody says something in the comment, I can post it to the show.
Oh, I want to see that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
See, like Timothy J. Warren, if I'm gonna pop it up, bam, loves.
Oh, that's so nice.
Right.
Oh.
So we could post.
Those are good comments.
We
We need
could
more.
post your
That is
mom stuff
cool.
on there.
We could. My mom. I think my mom's in bed by now, but you know.
Better wake her up.
I know she's very proud of me and everything, but I actually don't really go on Facebook. So.
She just doesn't.
Can I privately share the link?
Select friends only.
Select friends only.
Actually, yeah.
Not everyone from high school needs to see this from me.
Really?
Yeah,
Don't like, hey, look, I made it. I'm kidding.
you're right. I'm famous.
So who's coming up next? Am I gonna? You want to go last then, or you want me to go to Andy?
I mean,
Don't matter to me.
I don't care. Depends on the questions. Are they the same questions?
Sometimes I'll change them up. Andy,
All right, I guess he's up.
Yes, sir.
It's my higher
what
powers
is
will.
what is something that you had to learn the hard way in recovery?
Same questions.
I'll change it up for you if I have to.
You know, I guess there's a few, quite a few. Maybe being able to, or I guess maybe trying to get out of my way enough to try to seek, maybe not even seek, but just accept suggestions, accept the fact that I'm not smarter than everyone else. I don't know if any other alcoholics have ever felt that way before. That might be.
Oh yeah, I'm a genius.
You are too?
Yeah.
I'm the smartest guy in the room at all times.
Fair enough.
I thought
I
your pillow was
am
smarter.
I've said that joke about the pillow.
I love how we just saw like the grandiosity aspect, and then you're amazing, but it's like the addict, right? You have a
Sure.
delusions of grandeur, and then just shit self-esteem.
Well, yeah. The best way I've heard about that is it's called the pendulum, right? It's the pendulum of humility.
Sure.
Either like I am like the king shit, or the pendulum swings the other way and I'm not good enough.
I always say like I am the shit or I am just shit. Like it's that.
So you mentioned getting out of your own way.
It did.
What does that look like? What is it, and what does that mean to the potential people out there that might be new?
Well, I suppose to me, how it looked was just doing things differently, or maybe being willing to admit that I don't know everything, or be willing to take suggestions, or just saying I don't know, or I'm scared, or I'm whatever, right? So maybe doing things opposite of what feel natural to me.
Going against like those instincts.
Going
that you
against
walked
those
in,
instincts,
right?
Because I want to hold on to stuff, and I still do a lot of times. You know, we're humans, right? You know, so
Some of us aren't as great looking humans as you are, though.
well, everyone has gifts, Jake. You have this radio thing going on, and yeah, I'm a good-looking human. What can I say?
No lies were detected at all.
I still struggle with delusion from time to time.
Jokingly, our audience actually did just get shut up on that too.
Wow, you must be really hot.
I don't. I'm not surprised. Yeah, I don't know.
As he adjusts in
Getting-
his chair.
Getting out of my way. I would say that takes on many. It's kind of a. I guess I say it a lot. I never even have thought about it that hard before. I heard somebody say it, and I just said it again. I think we have a tendency to do that a lot, but I guess it shows up in all sorts of different ways. But essentially, just trying to not be ruled by self, like I have been for a long time, and maybe as it looks today, and maybe it looked the same back then too. But maybe just being able to kind of measure and manage emotions, right? I guess before I just kind of ran from feeling to feeling and was not very, all reactional. You know what I mean? Just feel it, do it, see what happens all the time, rather than maybe take a moment to pause and feel it.
I got you, Paul.
But
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Paul's making one of the biggest mistakes ever, and he's like, "Hey, Jake, will you close up this place tonight?" I'm like, "Oh yeah."
Hey, man, apparently you've become a trustworthy human now.
Where are the emergency exits?
all the weird shit's
It's
coming out.
concrete. It's all concrete. You can't burn down.
So we're safe.
You're right.
Mostly.
Yeah,
Okay.
except for escaping. We're safe with Jake.
Do they have
I see.
windows we can leave by?
No.
We're locked.
That was
nice
such
one,
a fast response.
Okay.
We're locked in here.
Cool.
With Jake.
Sounds like a fantastic Friday evening. See you, Raymond. So, Emily,
Yes.
what was one of the first things you learned in recovery?
That I can't do this by myself.
And how did you figure that out?
I don't know. I think I tried to get sober on my own. And 2 months went by and I was at my absolute lowest. And I realized nobody around me understood what I was going through.
Kind of following up with Liam's story, it got worse.
It got worse when my body felt better, but my mind didn't, because there was still that ick, the ism, that I didn't know how to address. I didn't know how to fix. I thought everything's going to be fine now that I'm sober. My whole life's going to come together. But I had to, go even lower and finally do something about it. And that, I had to dig deep inside myself. Okay, do I want to keep living like this? And it is a delusion. I thought that I was a totally different person, that I didn't have to change. Except then I wanted to be around other sober people so that, I just had some support. And it brought me to the rooms of AA.
So
and meetings.
you started off just seeking sober friends?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. And then I went to my first meeting. They did a first step meeting. And I felt bad that they had to do that for me. But they were all so welcoming and happy. And I've never been around so many people in my life that, it was the first time where I felt seen and safe and understood in a room full of strangers. And I was the youngest person in there. And yeah, and I just kept going to meetings and trying to figure out what I like and figuring out what am I and what is going on in my brain and my body. Why can't I, drink normally, if that ever is a thing, or why can't I stop once I start? And learn, getting a sponsor, going through the big book, and coming to different meetings, it brought me to you guys. No
What do you
matter-
mean? What do you mean, you guys?
You guys, my brothers, you effers.
Effers.
You hear
The
way she talks about
fellowship.
you, Liam?
The
What'd you say?
fellowship.
Hear
I
about-
was
hear the way
looking
she
right
talks
at
about
you,
you.
Jake.
Effers?
No,
You
you know,
it's fine.
having to go to my lowest, being lonely, finding other sober people who share the same disease. You guys are my family now. You understand me. And, you know, it's the fellowship. I can come to you with anything in my life, and you're going to, you know, direct me to be better. You know, you're not going to judge me. You're going to say, like, what's the next right thing?
What was the hardest thing for you to accept in the very beginning?
That I couldn't ever drink again in my
Really?
whole entire life. Yes. That was really hard for me to wrap my head around, because when I first got sober, I was like, all right, I'm going to do it for a year. And then once I understood that I'm an alcoholic, I'm like, well, shit, I can never do that again. So that was really hard for me to accept. But then I learned to love that, because I don't have to go back to the, you know, shit-faced Emily who embarrasses herself and makes stupid, dumb decisions and, you know, affects everyone around me. I can still go do, you know, things with alcohol around me, you know, but I am not consuming it. As long as I, you know, am doing the next right thing, like I said, with my higher power. And I see Tony says, practice the pause, which ain't that my whole life there. Pause. Pausing is very important to me. Put aside until serenity emerges.
I hate that acronym.
I know you do, but it means the world when you gotta use it.
I didn't know it was an acronym.
She turned it into like some acronym this week when I was like absolutely.
She did that to me too.
I
You're
You know
welcome.
how many times?
I
She's
can't.
like, just pause. God,
I was having a full-on spiritual tantrum.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I was so wrapped up, and she's like, pause, and then she does like, put aside until serenity emerges, and I'm like,
Because that's
and
all you
immediately-
can do.
Immediately, the first fucking thing I'm doing, and I read that text, is I just want to be like, fuck you! Right? Like that was the entire thought, but then like actually it worked because like
Oh, really?
Because I think
Oh.
throughout that entire day,
What did it do, Jake?
as I'm having all these problems emerge. And I'm having all these big feelings. Like, you know, when you look at a toddler and you're like, oh, you're having big feelings today, huh?
feelings.
Right? And I have all these big feelings, big thoughts, big beliefs, all these things that are going on. I want to act on them, but I didn't. I stopped. I actually reached out to alcoholics because that's what's been taught to me. And I think the only person that I might have made any damage to in that entire day of my tantrum was Emily.
What do you mean damage?
What about me?
I didn't snap off on you at all.
Oh yeah, he did snap at me.
Oh, okay. So that makes a little bit
And
more
I,
sense when he
you
says
know,
damage.
but
Yeah.
I
I texted you to go to that
understood. I understood what Jake was going through, and he's like, "You don't understand." And as I said, pause.
What day
pause.
was it?
And I knew he'd get mad at
Was
me
it
for
Thursday?
it.
Was it Tuesday or Wednesday?
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Oh, I
It was
was hoping
Wednesday.
it was
Yeah, no, it
Thursday.
was Wednesday. And then as I reached out to you, I remember I told you that you had reset my, like you renewed my spirit.
Wow.
I just thought there was some cheesy shit. You were
No,
saying.
I was in absolute spiritual turmoil, and I was I was emotionally and mentally bankrupt, and on the verge of complete spiritual bankruptcy, right? But I was staying sober, and I was having just like spiritual tantrums.
Yeah.
And you know,
did hug me like you meant it.
I did.
I mean, normally you do, but that one really, I really felt it.
Well, we had that detox commitment, and I had absolutely nobody to go with me, and I was like, I'm not doing this by myself. I'm absolutely not good. And I called my sponsor. I'm like, I'm not fucking carrying this shit. I'm not gonna do it. And he said, well, just shoot off a text to a couple people and see what your higher power has in store. And within like 2 fucking minutes, Andy's like, I'll be there. Renewed my spirit.
Wow.
It's funny how that shit works, because I mean,
You had no idea.
I didn't want to fucking go. Generally. I mean,
It was the next right thing.
Well, kind of. I didn't want to fucking go tonight either. I'll,
Honestly,
be
same,
completely
but I-
transparent.
Hey,
I had a lot of plans with myself.
I missed
tonight.
my meeting.
I had a lot of plans with myself, you know.
We don't want to.
It was a volume up night.
Damn it, Jake.
A volume up.
I mean, yeah, that's the cool thing, right? Like, I can make Andy hot, and I can pull us down to be a little bit cooler, so that Andy can be the star of the show.
No.
Or I can put us back to like normal levels here.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because we're all equals.
Yeah, we're all
Right,
equals,
Jake?
except when I do that. Wait, I think that was Liam. That one. Try talking.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
He would love to do that in real life.
It's
to
easy.
me.
No, now you
All
just
the
tune
time.
each other out. It's fine.
All right. So
Like Emily's talking?
Well,
Oh, no.
Flick off.
Is this yours?
Is what mine? No, it's not.
Are there others?
But
Are you thirsty?
I am.
Jake did the right thing this week by reaching out
Go
to other
through this
alcoholics.
door, and it's gonna be like you're gonna see a bunch of shit. There's gonna be.
There is a bunch of shit here.
Per
You're gonna
usual.
see a
If you haven't
cooler.
heard.
Cooler.
Yeah, but you'll see the back of it, so you'll actually have to recognize the back of a cooler.
I'll do my best. Would anyone else like a beverage while I'm on?
Yes, I would. Nectar
You
of the
would.
gods. You know what I want.
Yes, please.
Yeah, absolutely. That would be amazing.
I would like an agua, por favor.
Do they have pop? I'm suffering from. I'd like to have a little bit more caffeine if
Yes, you
possible.
want 2 nectar of the gods.
Oh, good man. You're a great man, Andy.
He's trying.
He is lost.
You look so
like a
lost.
puppy.
All right, Liam. How do you separate? How are you able to separate your will and God's will?
That is a very good question.
And when you figure out the wrong way, how do you know? But let's start with that first.
How do I separate my
Oh.
will from God's will? Jake, you know me well enough where I consistently have issues with that, right? I have a tendency to still do what I want to and delude myself into believing that it can be God's will.
True.
Emily, can you relate to that?
I can definitely relate to that.
Yeah. And then the easiest way that I've decided or learned to differentiate is, honestly, it's trying to like you've been saying, doing the next right thing, right?
It sounds cliche, but
It's
it
so cliche,
works.
and there's so many things that are so stupidly cliche.
Let go and let God.
Yeah, screw that. I hate
you
those
have
words,
to.
but it's true.
Yeah.
It's true. It's the most ridiculous thing, and they're so cliche, but you gotta remember, they're cliche for a fucking reason,
Yeah.
which doesn't make it any better. And
But it's because you remember it when you're in those
Yes.
dark times and you can't think of anything else, and it's just like those stupid but meaningful phrases.
Look at him. He figured it
Wow.
out.
oh my
look at
God, you are an
those.
amazing human.
That's a lot of beverage.
Thank you so much.
Lots of liquids there.
Pepsi?
Yeah, but now you're not gonna go thirsty.
You're
freezing.
amazing. Thank you so much, Andy.
True. When we get locked in here with Jake.
It's the worst possible thing. I get it.
Hey,
think-
I think we'll be.
I think
Yeah, we'll have
Valerie,
beverages, we'll be
thank you for
fine.
checking in. We're gonna put your comment right on the screen.
They really are, Val. They do. That's something I've noticed.
But you're on to
Cliches.
something huge there, and I'm gonna keep poking at you, and because it's really good right
It's
now.
doing the next right thing, and that comes from right. So in my base setting, I'm gonna do what I want to do, and it doesn't matter what anybody else has to say or thought about it. It's the Liam show, right? Like everyone else is just like a co-star, part of the cast. My decision is what.
Oh, don't mind me.
It's okay, Andy.
Thought it
We're
was the Andy show.
hey, you get your time to talk. It's
Okay.
But and that thought process and that learning of trying to do the next right thing actually comes from when I lived in my second sober house, which was run by my sponsor.
Oh,
Yeah.
I know that
awesome
guy.
dude. He's great.
I love
Right?
that guy.
Yeah. My base setting when I'm not spiritually healthy is I'm pissed off at the world and I'm mad and I'm gonna do what I want to do and it's very easy to get on my nerves. And I would, I'd text him and I'd call him over the most stupid, ridiculous stuff, and he'd be like, "This person didn't do their chore. I'm gonna fucking move out of this house. I can't fucking stand it." That kind of stuff, right? Just stupid hissy fits, man.
It's not going how I
stuff.
want it to
yeah,
go.
right.
So I'm out of here.
Exactly. Exactly. And first of all, that's not a good reason to leave a sober house. At least it wasn't a good reason to leave a sober house for me. Yes, it's a reason.
But not a good one.
No. And he would tell me, "Okay, Liam, pause, take a breath, and do 3 kind things for somebody, or do one thing for 3 people."
I already know the final part behind that because I know this
without
meant
getting caught.
Oh, whoa, never heard that.
Yeah, so the
that
whole
man that he's
thing-
talking about was my sponsor for like 2.5 years.
Yeah.
The same one you have?
15 years ago.
No.
He was.
Yep.
Oh, I did know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
And
the
it worked.
thing, it works. It works. And you know what? It becomes a game, essentially, right?
does.
Because you're sitting there and you're trying to figure out, okay, well, what can I do for 3 people?
How do I get away with it?
And there it is. Because he'd go, the second that somebody saw you or if you took credit for it, doesn't count. It's like,
Reset.
exactly. And what would happen was I would be so wrapped up in trying to do something for somebody else, not thinking about myself, not being engrossed in those emotions and that selfishness, that I'd forget about whatever was going on.
Almost like Liam's will kind of just started
Dissipates.
Yeah.
Yeah, I distance myself from that self-centered, egotistical aspect of me. And that's, I mean, if you want to talk about the base aspect of the program, in my belief, it comes down to not only sponsorship and all that kind of stuff, but it's fellowship, unity, and service. It's helping other people. That's what my it boils
100%.
down to that for me completely.
I have personally found 9 different places in the Big Book the Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous, where it essentially tells us that our whole job is to stop being selfish and help somebody else. And back then when they talk about, because in the traditions when they talk about anonymity is the spiritual foundation, that's what it was brought up why you do it and don't get caught.
Mm-hmm.
It's the spiritual foundation. Anonymity, don't get caught doing it.
So when the anonymity part, when I think of that, I just think, oh, it's Alcoholics Anonymous, don't share stuff. But yes, it can be totally put into this aspect of, not being selfish for others.
Yeah.
Being
Principles
anonymous.
before personality.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, okay,
I
so
love that.
you hold open a door for someone, right? They say thank you. How do you feel about that?
It makes me feel good they acknowledged it.
See, it's like, thank you. Yes, I went out of my way to do something
But
nice for
that-
you. And you acknowledged it. So sweet. I'll tell you what, the awesome aspect of I did other people's chores at the house, which I absolutely hated doing. I honestly did. I was like, I'm doing my chore, and then I'm doing their chore, and I really didn't like doing that. Because it was taking more of my time. But if you see them coming home from work, and they walk into the house and they still think, shit, I've been at work for this however many long, or I've been at treatment, or I've done all of this shit. And they come in and their chore's done, and they don't have to do that, and they can just relax for a little bit. That's awesome. That actually is pretty cool.
That is true.
But so yeah, doing something for somebody else takes me out of myself.
And that's actually a huge aspect, and that's something that I will, at the very beginning when I'm working with a newcomer, I'll tell them, go do something nice for somebody and don't get caught. Or if they're, their head is spinning, it's the same thing I was told is that then go do, sometimes it was go pick up trash. And I remember I was in the very early days of my sobriety, I really did an aggressive step down off of Suboxone. I came off Suboxone completely by day 87. So it was day 100, and I throw myself into withdrawal. like just whatever. And I'm like, God damn, I gotta like. Pride and ego are the big factor here, but I call another alcoholic and he said, go pick up trash. I'm like, how is this going to help that I am like sweating and shaking? How? He said, when it happened to me, that's what I did. So somebody else that had experienced that, I'm like, all right, well, then you know what this is like. So I went and tried it, and then, hey, I'm no longer obsessed with the fact that like I don't feel normal.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I feel sweaty but cold. I'm a little shaky, and you know,
You look gross.
and I looked gross. I did. I was 50 pounds lighter though.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think I came in. Well, I mean, not. I gained 50 pounds, but I also brought it back down. So I was about 25 pounds lighter at the time, compared to what I am now, right? But you know, that was a big aspect, and you know, the whole like the way that you were describing it, you know, it's huge because it does talk about in the book about how the proper exercise of your will, you know, it can line up with God's. And I have found, you know, like the easiest example I have is like I like to play video games. I want to be at home playing video games.
That was my plan for
That,
tonight.
right? Like I
Wednesday.
don't entirely like to, you know, be at a detox till 9 o'clock at night or, you know, whatever else till 10:30. Like it, but I am afterwards. I'm like, that was fun. I enjoyed that. But before it happens, I'm like, I'd rather be like Liam's talking about, you know, the Jake show. I'd rather do this, and I could justify it somehow being God's will. It's because, well, if I go in there angry, I'm going to cause damage. So it'd be God's will that I don't hurt anybody, right? I can figure out a way to justify this and fuck it up in my own head. But when I find out if I try to stay home and play those video games, then either I might have network issues, none of my friends get online, or there's server issues where it's like anytime I try to do something that I want to do in the game, like it just keeps popping me out. It's weird how that happens because now it's an improper use of my will. And now I just wasted the night. But if I go to that meeting that I said I'd be at, or if I show up to the podcast like I said I would, or go to the detox, whatever it might be, if I get home and I'm like, I'm going to play some video games now, everything works just fine, right? It all works out. And like, that's the proper use of my will. I did the next right thing first. Like Liam was talking about, the next right thing in front of me. Well, if I'm sitting here and I'm going, I don't want to go down to the detox and bring a meeting down there on Wednesday night. What's the next right thing in front of me? It's to go.
Yep.
Right? It's not to have my temper tantrum and play video games and you know, say screw everybody else. Like I'm not doing this because you're not doing this. Mm-hmm. That's the wrong way to go about it.
God must really love you. I've never had server issues. For hanging out by myself like that.
I get little nudges, and if I ignore little nudges, I get spiritual woodshed.
This is random, but Val should be here. She just about melts my mind every time I hear her share nowadays.
Yeah.
Valerie is a special soul.
My
She is
fucking
with her
brain
kids
was
tonight.
leaking out of my ear hole at the last meeting we were at together.
Ear hole.
Your ear hole.
Yeah.
What do you call it?
Orifice.
Yeah, but that could be multiple different things.
Yeah, you figure it out.
I don't want to.
You wouldn't say. You've never said that.
That's just
Ear
between
orifice?
you two.
You don't say that. False.
Wait, who to?
Use guys.
No.
Use guys. You guys. Them too.
Yes, those two.
Emily.
Jacob.
Is there some? Well, no, I don't want to play that one.
Ooh.
What? Well, you know, it's just, you know, sometimes you got to fill airtime. Liam, what is this pause in the moment brought to us by?
I'm still stuck on
You're
pizza,
just supposed to make something
man.
up.
American Pie Pizza.
Wait, I have questions about that now. Like, which American Pie? Are we
I
talking
don't know. It's
like
right
the
there.
movie?
No,
American Pie Pizza.
That's where our pizza was from tonight.
Oh yeah, it is.
And you know, before this, I had some on my face, so saved it for later.
I had Chipotle.
Even good after the
earlier
fact?
today.
Even good after.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's good pie.
So, Emily,
really
a little 11-step review for you on the week. Were you resentful, selfish, dishonest, or afraid this week?
Very.
Are you able to share it with us?
If I can think of it.
Are you willing to share?
I
it
am
with
willing
us?
to share. Yes. I feel like I have been resentful at myself for.
That's remorse. But yes,
Oh.
it works.
Thank you for the correction. More. Okay.
No, it's part of your fourth step. It's part of the resentments.
Right.
Because but it just it clarifies. Sometimes it's remorse and it's ourselves that we're sore at.
Yes. Yeah, I've definitely. Let's see. This week, I carry a lot of fear.
Oh.
I do. Fear is one of my biggest character defects. Yeah. So.
Well, what are one of these fears that creeped up? What does it cause you to do?
Fear causes me to shut down completely.
What is the fear?
The fear is, it's fear of not being good enough, fear of someone not liking me, fear of doing bad at my job, or I don't know.
Sounds like this should be classified as stealing.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big book reference. Sorry.
Can't think of that right now. Yeah, but so then I shut down and I avoid things, and then I'll never know whether I never give myself the opportunity to find out, like, to succeed, and my higher power wants me to succeed, so I'm avoiding the next right thing in front of me if I'm fearful.
So what did fear cause you to do this week?
Be lazy. I've been getting to work late this week, which affects the whole rest of my day.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Yep. Work has been hard this week. Fear has. Oh man, it takes over my dreams. I am afraid of a few people right now. Of some amends that I need to make, and I'm not ready yet.
Have you prayed to be ready?
I have, in a way. I think I need to focus on it better because the fear creeps in, and then the obsession does too. And I pray to remove the obsession because I don't think that now is the right time to make the amend. I think I at least want to wait till my sponsor gets home so I can talk about it with her before that happens.
Is there a part of you that doesn't want to make the amends right now?
Yes, because I'm scared that I'm going to get yelled at, and then I've already lost a friendship that, did not serve me well and was all based on fear. I've been scared of this person because they control me, and so yeah, but I still need to make an amend to her, and I'm scared for that result. Even though I'm going to lose her anyways. Not lose her, just kind of move on, I'm grateful for our friendship that we had, and I'm also ready to leave it in the past because it took too much of me, too much negative energy out of me.
There was a practice that I had in the beginning. It was because there was one that was like, I'm willing, but I don't want to. I'm not ready, and it was almost and the prayer was to pray to want to make it. Like, I'm not praying that I suddenly go make it or give me the courage to do this. I'm just praying to want to do this because I wasn't even at that point yet.
Yeah.
And eventually it started to work and I was ready. And then like before I even got there and made that amends, I think it's like on 562. It's, something about resentment and somebody that, that I still had resentment towards this person. And when I had to go make the amends, and before I did it, I read that part and started praying for this person to have everything that I wanted. Which that was tough in the first 2 or 3 days, right? Like if I am just super resentful at Andy, and I'm not. I absolutely love Andy. But
I feel that.
Can you prove it?
100%.
In front of all these people.
Yeah.
All these people.
Can you perform like that? I don't think you can.
It's been a while since I performed on camera.
I don't think you can.
But if I'm sitting here and I have this resentment towards Andy, and I just don't even have the desire to approach him, but I know I need to do it for my recovery aspect. Like that's the only thing driving it. But if I start praying to say, like, I want Andy to have peace and joy and happiness. I want him to have the house that I want. I want him to have the relationship that I want. I want him to have the job that I want. Like, I started praying for this person to have everything that I actually wanted.
But shouldn't you pray that he has what he wants?
It was an aspect of, like, because that also controlled the jealousy part, right? Like, if I start sitting here and I'm praying that you get the things that I want, and they start coming true for them, or in any aspect, but by the third day or fourth day I started meaning it.
Yeah.
I started to actually feel it and mean it.
Isn't that weird?
And then when I realized that I felt it and I meant it, I had a much softer approach, and I thought at that moment I was absolutely ready and I wanted to rush out and do it, but then it was let's see if it can last, give it 3 days, see if it sticks. Because, that pillow comment that you made earlier, I say it all the time. I can walk into these rooms and I can hear something, I can learn something, and I'll hang on to it until I get home and go to bed. It'll leak out into the pillow. I'll go out and I'll sit down with somebody and they'll teach me something, and I'll figure out, or I'll have this great epiphany, and, something clicks, right? The wheels click.
You go to sleep like you're in prison. Then you don't lose it. On your back.
Oh, that's
it comes out of your ear hole. The memories.
The memories.
Yeah.
Oh
Well, that's why I say I got the smartest pillow in the world at home. Like I've everything I've learned is leaked out into that pillow.
Ego.
That's why I got to keep coming back here and keep
Learning.
keep staying in it, keep learning, keep staying with you people. You people.
I think what you touched on before, I don't even necessarily think at a beginning it matters what the hell you're praying for, as long as you're praying for that other person, right? I mean,
And honestly, that part is like I was so filled up
if you
that I didn't know.
conflute it with all this shit, you're just going to overanalyze the whole thing, and then it's not even going to be any. And it could be maybe, as long as you're praying for the other human.
Yeah, and I think that's why they brought me to that point in that book, because I'm like, I don't know how to pray for this guy because I'm still so angry.
Sure.
And they said, well, right here, pray for they get everything they want. All right, that was enough of the beginning, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I came in here, I didn't know how to be loving. I didn't know how to be thoughtful. I didn't know how to pray for other people. I know how to do foxhole prayers for myself, but
Oh yeah.
I didn't know how to do any of that stuff.
No.
Andy,
Yes.
you want to do a little 11-step review?
Sure.
You've
I'd be
been-
willing to try anything with you.
Have you been selfish, resentful, dishonest, or afraid this week?
Sure. All of them, probably. Can provide some examples of probably all of them. Not super dishonest. I've been working pretty good at that. Actually, no, I can give an example of dishonesty, something that I wrote about, talking to some coworkers in a way that, and gratefully now it's just stupid, silly shit like this, but I have a tendency to make my stories more interesting. Embellish, yeah. So lie about it. Lie about stupid shit, right? Like we used to, a lot.
Fish stories.
A story about stuff when I was up in Hibbing on Monday about, it was something so trivial, but it stuck in my craw, so I tried to write it down and get rid of it. But it's kind of funny, actually. It was just about, they're all giving me shit for being in Hibbing. Nobody wants to go to Hibbing, apparently. I like it.
Why
I like
were
Hibbing.
you in Hibbing?
I work. So I work, yes, I work, but I was in Hibbing for work as well.
Oh, okay.
So I was in Hibbing on Monday and Tuesday for work.
Look, unlike you, I work. Like,
No, it didn't come off like that. Or I was,
He's a working man.
wow,
I'm a working man. I'm attractive and I'm a working man. If anyone's listening.
quite a catch.
Yeah, very, yeah. But it was something as silly as that they were joking about people being unattractive in Hibbing. Sorry if anybody's from Hibbing, but these are just the people, what they were joking about, okay? So for some reason, I felt compelled to stick up for the people in Hibbing. And I said,
Period.
they're wonderful people. I went to this cafe, and the women in Hibbing are so amazing. There was 3 or 4 servers that I saw that were just gorgeous. And then I even went even further, and I lied about the
Wait, so
server's
that
hand.
was the lie.
That was the lie.
That was a lie. So you didn't see 3 or 4 gorgeous servers
I
in
saw
Hibbing.
2. But I mean, and it went on. And it went on for, I told this story about the woman's hands and how they look like working hands. And that's the essence of Hibbing. Strong, working people. And that she built her home. I mean, it fucking went on and on. That's the type of hands. And then it went into all sorts of other.
And they believed you.
Of course they did.
I believe him.
You
What
are.
do you mean they?
I'm very gullible
So
to Andy.
yeah,
Anything he says, it's very
So that it went.
believable.
Well, and I can have a tendency to be a little dry too, so some people don't
Yeah.
know when I'm joking. So I could just
Exactly.
keep going
That's
and
really
going. And that's some sort of weird thing too, where I might do that just for fun. I'll get bored and I'll just tell somebody
Tell
something.
stories.
And they're like, "Oh, wow, that's the craziest shit I've ever heard." You're like, "Oh, well, you're welcome." But what a dumb fuck. They didn't even know, right? Or whatever. I'm fucking sick, like the rest of us, right? But that was one example from earlier. But enough where it got stuck in my craw that I'm like, man, these things that I seek as a human. I want integrity. I want people to take me seriously. Yet at the same time, I'm sick enough where I do these things to take away from the exact same things that I'm seeking. Just the same as I had done before. So it shows up differently than it had in the past. And maybe it isn't so out there for everyone to see, right? But it's still very much there. And I find that if I don't stay proactive about it, then these things keep leaking on, and I might be talking about this bullshit that I made up in Hibbing for a while. And then it's the same actions that it was in the past, where I got to like remember, so because I work with multiple stores. So then what sort of shit was I slinging in Cambridge that I need to remember? Oh, and they'll ask me about the whatever it was, and I'm like,
And now you're no longer the authentic.
flip through the
individual.
Rolodex. Yeah. Yep. Absolutely.
Flip through the Rolodex.
Yep. But the same
Dating
fucking,
yourself a little bit.
the exact same actions that I had before. Exactly the same, just a little different, right? But it still crops up. It still crops up all the time. So that was an example of dishonesty.
Being able to recognize these types of defects and these things that that you're able to relate to, like, oh, it's not the same thing as to the extremes I used to do it, but it's something that it's the same behavior almost.
It's exactly the same behavior. It's just
How are you able to get to this point in your life where you're actually able to sit back and recognize it as it happens, or when you sit there and you know these tools about being able to review it at night?
Well, we get to learn these. We get to learn the tool of inventorying when we do 4, right? So I find inventorying to be, it's a great tool. I don't have a word for it. It works very well. And the harder you do it, or the more consistent, or whatever, the deeper you dig, the more shit you find, right? I mean, that's just how it goes, right? So I kind of fashion maybe recovery to. You might not be able to relate, Jake, but maybe Liam. He looks pretty fit. Maybe like going to the gym or something like that.
Wow.
Right? Come on. Fucking facts, dude. It's not a slight. It's that's just the truth. But right, so you can go to the gym. You can wear all the clothes. If you never get on a fucking machine,
You're not doing jack shit.
you're not doing anything.
Yeah.
Right?
I like that.
You can buy all the stuff. You can tell people you just got out. Maybe you throw a little stuff to his fake perspiration when you roll out of there, or whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
Fake a limp. like you were working real hard, right? People do that all the time. You see it all the time in meetings, you know, or at least I'm also good at taking other people's inventory. So what I believe is also going on. Maybe is, maybe isn't, none of my business, but sometimes I make it my own. So I think inventory and the other tools that we get to learn are very much the same, right? I can talk about this shit all day long. Am I really doing it? I try to, because I don't want to go back to the human that I was before.
My
Because
sponsor
it's all
asked me
waiting.
like the same question this week, and I
About
was
the
honest
gym.
about it. No, but I was honest about it. He said, well, you know, when was the last time you did a nightly inventory? I was like 3 weeks ago, and even before that, it was real spotty, right? Like, I do the Upon Awakening thing, and that's only because people text me the 24 hours a day. So that's the first thing I see when I wake up and I roll over. I turn off the alarm on my phone. I see the 24 hours a day. So I'm able to read that and get a little bit of, you know, Upon Awakening. But I didn't do any nightly inventory, so now I'm on. Now I'm in trouble. And
Been there.
my sponsor has now instructed me that I have to send him my nightly inventory every night.
Oh.
And he even sends me a blank. Like, he makes it very, very, very simple for me. He sends me the blank thing every night, you know, right when he goes to bed. And it's just this blank slate, right? Yeah. He sends this to me so that
What a guy.
I can. And it just starts off. Was I resentful, selfish, dishonest, or afraid? And he leaves blank spots so I can fill it in.
You don't even put it on a piece of paper with a pen?
Well, I have to send him my inventory.
You know,
Well,
it's
then take a picture of
2024.
it. Take a picture of it.
It's 2024.
It's way
Just
better.
because it's
You can do it on your
2024 doesn't
phone.
mean.
I'm kidding. I love
You know what,
writing
my-
on
you know
paper.
what,
Yeah, like
I do.
I
You
think
know
But
what?
the
I'll-
fact
I'll
is that I'm
write
doing
that
it again,
stuff.
okay?
Good
I'll
job.
write it.
Can you send
Hey.
that to me, please?
Yeah, could you send that to me as well?
You know I inventory every night?
Do
Or
you?
try to?
Yeah.
For the same reason that you're doing that. But I was told that I had to use pen and paper.
You know, I was.
And then I just sent a
Yeah.
picture of it.
Oh.
And it was really fun when a big group of us were going through the steps together. And then we all sent, so you got to see everybody.
That could
was really
go
fun.
south.
That was
real
pretty fun.
quick.
Did you when you saw everybody's and it was a bunch of you? Did you ever withhold anything a little bit, or were you
Not
just
me.
full blown on it?
I
I
feel
like
like I'd be like,
to
I can't-
share
I can't
everything.
let
I'd
Andy
be
read
yeah,
this part of it.
honestly.
But
There are aspects like
I'm sure some
Yeah.
people did. I did not. 'Cause I kind of also like to poke and jab at people, so I had no problem. Like, you know, some
You're, like,
people were writing
mad
it
at
on.
this person in the group. Just,
So I would write down how it felt, and a lot of the time, the people that I was coming up with, they were not, they were not part of that inventory process. But I wouldn't have any issues sharing that
Yeah.
if you haven't. I'm sure Jake has, but if going through the steps with a group of people can be very powerful. You get to learn. You get to learn a lot. And you get to learn a lot about those people.
Mhm.
And ideally, you all come out a little bit better. And like any other AA shit, there's you start with 5, and then it's just you and 2 other people when it's over with. But this stuff, for whatever reason, whoever decides to follow through, you come out of there with, or at least in my experience, you come out of there with lifelong bonds that
You guys.
that good shit. Yeah,
Use
people.
guys is.
Use people. That cool stuff where you might not see them for a couple of years, and then you just pick right up where you left off, or whatever it is, right?
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I had a friend that disappeared for a few months, and he came back in, and I was like, "Oh, hey, missed you," and just picked up where we left off. That was good.
Yeah. Is that me and you? We kind of.
I mean, I could be you, me and
Could
you.
We kind of did.
I mean, yeah.
Use it.
But no, I was picking on Liam on that one.
Yeah, that
Oh.
was me. Hi.
Oh, Liam's still here. I
was thinking of
forgot.
both of you.
Okay.
That's okay.
I mean, you know what the great part was is you guys both stayed sober while you were gone, and I
Yeah.
stayed sober while whatever it was, and it's not like you guys were gone.
It was tough staying
Yeah.
sober without you, but I somehow managed to make it work.
I appreciate that.
Well, I missed you. I mean, I could stay sober. I just missed you.
I missed you too. I appreciate that.
Yeah. I also had feelings for you. Missing was some of them.
That's gonna be part of my gratitude here when we get to this final segment.
Yeah.
And It's coming up in a minute.
I don't want to be done yet.
Yeah, I have fun doing this stuff, talking about this. This is entertaining.
I feel like it was a really good show.
Yeah.
I feel like it was a really good show. Honestly.
I don't know what to compare it to, but this is pretty good.
I mean, like I haven't had this kind of like I've had probably 3 shows right where I'm like, God, that was so good. That was so good. This is one of them, right?
Cool.
The other one I had like my sponsor was on, so like it was,
that's
Oh,
pretty
that would have
good.
been.
It's pretty. We should bring
Didn't-
both.
I
We
didn't
should
see
do
that'd be
our sponsors and us.
that'd be hilarious.
I would.
Yeah.
I would pay to
For anybody
watch
who
that.
didn't hear, Jake and my sponsors are married.
No, not Jake and your sponsor.
Oh, Jake's sponsor and my sponsor. Jake's sponsor and my sponsor are married, and so we are.
What do you call?
We
what
are
do you call
siblings.
Jake's sponsor?
Pa.
Aw.
Mine is mother spons. Yes.
I mean, I'll straight call him like El Jefe.
Yeah, they hate it. But they're. Yeah, I really want to replace every single picture in their house right now.
We could have done that. They're on their way back still. We could do that.
I am going to be there this weekend.
We could
so-
take a bunch of selfies right
We
now
should do
and
that. I
have them
think that that's
printed
a
at
great
Walgreens
idea.
within an hour.
All
I
right.
think that that's
Some
a great
weird
idea.
shit.
Andy, are you in
That
this?
is the
You
next
wanted
right thing,
this?
everybody.
That's the next right thing. Yeah.
When do they get back?
Sunday.
We got plenty
we
of
got
time.
plenty.
Yeah.
What kind of are they good? Are we taking them? Or are we just replacing the pictures in the frames?
Yes.
Or are we?
We could add picture frames as well.
All of
I
it.
need.
You
or
know,
I would
we
like
could-
some
we could
frames
take, like,
for
some
just
of them.
feeling for them. I'm
Okay.
also in for that.
No, we're
So-
replacing.
Well, we'll do
I only need
replacing.
about 6.
Why do you need 6 picture? First of all,
Above
do you
the
not have
couch.
6 picture frames?
You know, I used to be framed on their mantle once.
But wait.
Got
Okay, so we'll
replaced.
replace the ones that are currently there. Then we'll also go to the thrift store and we'll buy a bunch of picture frames from the thrift store.
Just
Yep.
random ones.
Valerie
Oh, is
and
that-
I already
Phil.
planned to do that, but I guess you can be included.
Is this open for everyone?
Yes.
Yes.
And we're gonna just do pictures
See, I
of
think that
ourselves.
this is a great.
No, we're all gonna be doing it together.
Yeah, like
Every
us.
single picture would be all of us together.
I mean,
I think
we could
that
do a
there
mosh
should, we could do
podge.
headshots.
Collage.
and
We'll,
Andy could do like a,
Awkward family photos.
We'll dive in
Yes.
more to that off air. But
I think
Emily,
this is a great
Yes,
fellowship
Jake.
opportunity.
It is.
what is your gratitude tonight? The whole show is called Attitude for Gratitude.
Gosh, you know, my gratitude is my whole spiritual awakening. Gosh,
Did you look at the
That's-
camera when you said that? You did. I
where's the camera? I don't know
Th-
what
it's
the
this
camera. Oh, hello.
thing.
No, I was looking at this.
I thought it was a
dude.
robot.
What?
Don't
There's a
touch me, and
robot?
I just touched
Oh
it.
my gosh.
Anyways, I am grateful just for gosh, so much. I had a really good meeting, women's meeting earlier tonight, and there was a newcomer, and all of us women, we did a first step meeting, and we were able to just come together and like share our experience, strength, and hope, and it just brings me back to like what my spiritual awakening was, and that recovery is possible no matter like where you've been from. You know, it's simple, but it's not easy. And yeah, just connecting with other people and my tribe now. And I wouldn't be here today without used people's
Use people.
and the program and my higher power and, you know, being at that hopeless place. So I am a grateful alcoholic.
A grateful alcoholic.
I like that.
And it can be fun.
Andy, I need to get your gratitude, please. I gotta know what you're grateful for tonight.
Howard Stern again.
Well, I don't know. I guess today I would be grateful that I have the gift of maybe just like this changed perception, or I don't even know how to articulate it. Just being able to be and to show up, and it not being a big deal, and to be surrounded by people that I know and trust and can just be comfy with, without feeling like being overrun with weird, overanalyze, all this wacky shit, to be able to just be. Just be able to just be, I guess.
Serenity.
Serenity.
Yeah, that sounds
something like that.
like the whole
Feels good.
matching serenity with calamity.
Something like that. Yeah, feels good.
Liam,
Yes, Jake.
what are you grateful for tonight?
Let's see. I like being able to share my experience, right? So having the opportunities to do that. I was going to go to a meeting today, and I got the times mixed up, and showed up, and after it had ended, and I could have decided to go home. I was like, I know the people here. There might be some fellowship going on. And was seeing what was up, and Emily mentioned that she was going to the podcast. I was like, I got nothing else going on tonight, so I guess
Yeah,
I'll
it
go.
was a
I'll see
surprise.
what's
She was
up.
like, Liam's coming. I'm like, really?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm grateful for. I mean, Emily said it. It's the people that it's the person that I've become, and the people that I surround myself with now, right? Like, dude, I don't want to go on a podcast. I'm not that kind of person. Like, I don't want to talk. Like, I don't want to do that stuff. But now I'm in a podcast and I'm having a blast, right? Like, I'm having a shit ton of fun right now.
Yeah, I might come back.
Yeah.
Oh,
And it's
might come back.
talking about stuff that, like, dude, I get so fired up over. Like, I love talking about this because there is a change that happens, like,
Glimmer.
yeah.
Glimmers.
Like, I mean, I picked up a new sponsee tonight just
Yeah.
from someone going, what? Thinking about getting a sponsor. It's like, I can help you with
Where at,
that.
here?
Like, no, at,
He showed up late to
yeah.
the meeting. People were leaving, and he's
and
ended
one
up
guy
talking
was,
to a guy.
yeah, and one guy, and we were
Right.
just
That
talking,
is-
right? And it's
That's a
Higher-
God thing. You're
higher
supposed to
yeah,
power, man.
yeah. Like, I'm just so grateful for the program in and of itself, right? I was not a good person. I was in a very bad place, and now, I mean, when shit happens, I have the appropriate tools to deal with it, and I have an amazing group of people to help support me. I wouldn't trade that for the fucking world. Emily, you said it. You're a grateful alcoholic. Like, being an alcoholic in recovery is probably the best thing that's ever happened to me. Jake, you say it all the time. When you were sober or before when you were using, if you had given yourself like a measurement to how far you could go, you would have been selling yourself short.
Oh, 100%. I would have sold myself way short.
Yeah.
And I mean, I got everything that I didn't know I wanted.
Mm-hmm.
I had no idea I wanted all this,
Right.
and I got it. So like that was huge. I honestly didn't have a life worth saving.
Yeah.
I didn't. But thankfully, this program doesn't save my life because it wasn't worth. Like I said, it wasn't worth saving. This program gave me a whole new life, something different that I could do, a different way to live, a different way to handle life, a different way to understand those around me, so I can practice love. Something that was actually worth like sitting down at night, so that if I were to die, and even if there's nothing that happens after that, and all you get is that 30-second reel, something where I'd be like, that was a good reel. Right? Like I'm so at peace with that. Anything you guys want to plug?
It doesn't work unless you work it.
Well, thanks for
Maybe.
the saying, but you got nothing you want to plug? Anything you
Want
guys
to
wanna
plug?
Meetings, events, situations, so on, blah, blah, blah.
Women's meeting on Fridays at 6 p.m. at the Robbinsdale Alano.
Right on.
Mm-hmm. Good meeting.
That's a good meeting.
Yes.
My home group is Just the Thought. We meet Thursdays, 5:30, Vista Lutheran Church. Where did we all meet? DOA.
Yep.
DOA.
6 o'clock.
DOA.
6 o'clock Sunday, Robbinsdale.
Yep.
Yep. Good fellowship there.
It's all
A
right.
lot of
It's
fun.
okay. Lots of.
I bought a new board game for us to play on Sunday night.
You did?
I did.
What is it?
It's called Code Names.
Oh,
Good
yes,
shit.
that's fun.
Good shit.
I'm excited.
That's fun.
Love
And-
that.
And you can play it with like 40 people.
Yeah,
Perfect.
that'll be good.
Oh, and fun area stuff tomorrow, 9 a.m., 4 p.m., Rosemont. It's on the website. Come voice your opinion, hear what's going on.
Is that area assembly?
Yes.
Okay, because that was super cryptic. I was like, something's going down.
It's going down. There's a lot of shit going on.
9 a.m. is a little too early.
I'm supposed to go.
Thank
You
you
are.
for reminding.
Talk to your
Kat.
higher power about it.
The
What-
DCM is out of town. I'm the
What
only
were you?
DCM.
What were you were saying something earlier
make
about
it
if you
sound so
don't
fun.
want to do something, the next right thing is to do it.
I have to double check because I think I didn't know.
Did
I,
you might have double booked something?
I had no idea about it. Like normally, if the DCM
job,
is not
Andy.
going to be there, they will tell me like, "Hey, I won't make it to this. Can you fill in?"
Yeah.
And
So,
you know, that conversation never happened. Nobody's fault, but I think I did schedule something tomorrow. I'm almost certain.
It's wonderful
We'll
that we
find
have.
out.
Was it sleep?
No.
Did
What
you say
district are
9
you?
a.m. is a little too early?
20?
yes.
What
I
district
agree.
are you?
Okay.
20?
Yeah.
It's wonderful that we'll have District 20 support there, it sounds like.
Yeah.
Yes.
To relay the information back to the people
Right.
who
Liam,
need to know.
You got anything you want to plug?
I mean, isn't there like bingo or something?
Absolutely. There's
Bingo!
There is bingo.
I never win.
Do I got to turn her down a little bit?
Probably.
I think
Is
for
that-
that one, yeah, she was.
Is the hot dog guy going to be there?
The hot dog guy's going to be there.
Is he?
Ooh,
I think
might-
he's bringing
Yeah.
burgers this time.
Really?
I would like a
I
hot
heard.
In addition to the wieners?
I don't know.
Because I want.
sausage.
You want his
So
wiener?
as everyone's talking
They're
about
good.
it,
I
there
like sausage.
is
He makes a good
bingo, Easter
They're good.
bingo tomorrow at Robbinsdale Alano at 4055 Regent Avenue North in Robbinsdale. Starting at 5:30, doors will open, and this will go on until 9:30. So the bingo will be downstairs. If you need a meeting, there will be a meeting upstairs at 7 o'clock.
And what meeting is that?
That is Snipe, Saturday Night Young People. But all you have to do is be young at heart with room to grow. That's how they classify it. And
nice.
Robbinsdale's the place to be tomorrow, if you were to ask me. But
Everyone's welcome.
everybody's welcome. I hope to see a whole bunch of new people on there, and come by and say hi. I hear there's a
6
really terrible bingo caller.
Is it you again?
It's me again.
Oh man, I don't know.
Are you gonna be bad with the puns again?
Every time.
Can I run the money or do you have to be a board member? That was a lot of fun last time.
I mean, if you want to
think
come
we should-
volunteer,
we should
I'm
have
sure we can
Seth.
take volunteers.
Well,
That's a long damn day, actually. Maybe I don't want to do that. Maybe I do.
Well, if nobody told anybody that you are loved tonight, let me be the one. I love you. You
Aw.
are loved, and we appreciate everybody that tuned in tonight. As you see on the bottom, Own Your Recovery. There is meetings and places everywhere. You've heard it on the podcast tonight. Robbinsdale, Alano, New Hope, Twin Lake, Blaine, Fridley, the Sahara Club. And there's a lot of places to own and get your recovery. We'll work for recovery down here at 2520 North 2nd Street in Minneapolis. There is the intergroup number scrolling down there, and if you have mental health concerns, please pick up the phone, dial 988. That is also down there at the bottom of your screen. You're worthy of this life, and the people around you love you. And we hope to see you again next week. Until next week, please take care and love somebody else.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.